Oops. Yeah, you can't watch The Mandalorian anymore. And the right can't watch it because they canceled her. Like Pepsi, which I think 70% of their sales come directly after a waitress says, "We don't have Coke. Is Pepsi okay?"
What?
What do I want?
Michelle,
When you say you people, what do you mean?
the complaining black people blaming others for the failure of their parents and their lives,
What complaint
blaming
have we made?
others for whatever it is you complain about. What is it exactly do you want from white people?
Marketing a phone specifically to Trump supporters, who are as bad as Toronto Maple Leaf fans for still supporting a loser while making up excuses for why they aren't winning. Introducing the Freedom Phone. Yes, the Freedom Phone is a free speech and privacy-first smartphone with an uncensorable app store called the Patriot App Store. They claim it has no location tracking and no keyboard tracking. We'll get to that in a second. And it comes preloaded with your favorite apps like Parler, DuckDuckGo, OAN, and Newsmax. Not just making America great, but also making a great phone. It says this right on the website. And get this, freedom could be yours for only $499.99 US. Listen, freedom isn't free, and you wouldn't want it to be, because you know who wants things to be free? Commie liberals. Except for free speech. I mean, of course they don't want that, only we want that. I'm so confused. America! Oh, look, it's got an American flag and jets as the background. Yes, this is the phone for me.
First of all, I'm just going to take a breath. And
I'm trying to find out what you want.
What's your nationality?
American.
Are you white?
I'm black American.
Oh, okay.
What do you want?
You Caucasian.
Oh, you do? And why do you think that? Why do you think that?
Because you seem to separate yourself from us, should I say?
In
Put
what
us on
way?
the other side
In what
of the
way?
fence. In the ways that you've specified thus far.
Meaning what? Tell me, give me an example and tell me what you mean.
How you mean? What do you people want from white people? Meaning that I'm not with you.
Oh, okay, I
It's
got you.
just y'all by yourself, right?
Let me explain why I do that. What you don't know is that there are two realities in life. One is that of good and one is that of evil. And now that I've been able to overcome evil, I don't identify with angry, evil black people. I identify with other blacks and others who are on the side of good. And so that's why I say you people, because I have to divide myself or separate myself from evil and go along with good. So that's why I do that.
What is it that makes us evil?
I'm sorry, your anger, your blaming others for your problems, your lack of love and respect for yourself and others.
Hong Kong is a part of China. You know, that place MAGA supporters hate right now because they created a virus that took away our freedom. What might it be using that data for? Huh? To try and keep you out of baseball games, which are American, because the phone's telling people that I've got the Kung Flu? Well, don't worry, because they've supposedly got that out of there for you. Android was funded by Google. If you are truly so paranoid about big tech, you should know that Android was commercially funded by Google.
We're here in Charlotte, North Carolina on day one of the Democratic National Convention. We're going to talk to Democratic delegates and supporters about the issue of choice. We want to see if the respect for choice extends to other areas of human activity besides abortion. One thing we're talking about today here is choice. The Democratic platform strongly supports Roe v. Wade. Are you pro-choice?
I'm absolutely pro-choice.
But someone makes a program called The Wall that gives your phone extra protection and you go, oh yeah, bald eagles and titties, I gotta have the wall on my phone to keep those immigrant viruses out of it. And it's actually just grabbing all your data and infecting your phone with malware. But it'd be against freedom to ban that app. Oh, but Candace Owens says it's a good phone. Candace Owens, who, by the way, in her own video, admits to not knowing anything about the Android OS, and then goes on to show how she installed Instagram, owned by Facebook, the big evil tech company that banned Trump. Yeah, That's who you should take phone buying advice from. Fact is, if you buy this, you're paying $500 because you're the type of sucker who buys things based on your political affiliation. Because it says freedom right on it, and I believe in free
choice.
Are you pro-choice?
Yes.
It's a woman's right to choose what she wants to do with her body.
Why is choice an important issue?
Because a woman should have a right to choose based on her doctor and her family's decisions.
There's been trans fat bans in certain states, bans on large sodas. Are you pro-choice in terms of what you put in your own body?
I think a lot of people make harmful decisions. There's alcohol, there's cigarette smoking. And so I understand the government trying to intervene because the American taxpayer pays a lot of money for fat people.
Mississippi's the fattest state in the union, and if anybody could use some reduction in the trans fat they intake, it would be my state.
So in that case, you're for taking away the consumer choice?
Absolutely.
Chuck Schumer was pushing the ban of Four Loko, which is a combination of caffeine and alcohol. That seems like a clear taking away of a choice. Would you not agree with that?
Well, is it really a choice? You're deciding to do something that's not healthy for you.
That's a choice, right?
But if you decide to do something that's not healthy for you, let's talk about the results of that action that you take.
So people should only be allowed to make good choices?
No, people should make the choices that have good results.
Should consumers have a choice in what kind of light bulbs they want to buy?
No, they shouldn't, because if they're polluting the earth, it's going to last longer than their lifetime.
You're okay with restricting choice in light bulbs?
Yeah, and even if you do prefer the warm glow, if you're that particular about lighting, does that really come before the safety and future of our planet?
To choose not to be in a union, is that a choice that should be?
It should be a choice not to be in a union. Yep.
So you're in favor of right to work still?
No, choice not to be in a union, but I think unions do good, so I would choose. I guess not. I'm not in favor of right to work.
Should people have the choice not to join a union?
Actually, no, I don't like the right to work states.
You're from Louisiana. What about school choice? The choice of parents to send their kids to whatever school they think is best?
Well, I think if you had reasonable schools that were held to accountability and used a reasonable curriculum, I think it would be a wonderful thing. There are a lot of for-profit charter schools.
Is the profit motive a bad thing?
I think the profit motive is not something that should be introduced into public education. I'm ABD, all but dissertation, all right? It was hard enough for me to navigate my child through her educational progress, right? When you're talking about people who, for no reason of their own, are unable to understand the educational system, yes, I think there ought to be some regulations in place to help those parents and to provide for the future of their children.
Okay. But you are pro-choice?
I'm definitely pro-choice when it comes to people's bodies.